Hello, everyone, and welcome to Frisco, Texas, site of the 2017 USYS Soccer National Championships. It's under 17-20 group boys action as we are in the final day of group play, just about set to set this one off between Challenger Crew Juniors out of Medina, Ohio, and OP Ohio Premier out of Dublin, Ohio. So it's a battle for Ohio supremacy. Underway here with Ohio Premier in charge of this one. Challenger going to be wearing their gold kits as they are going left to right. And then the dark jerseys for Ohio Premier, they will be going right to left, and a foul given in the early going will favor the team out of Dublin. So in the early going, Ohio Premier looking to send one on towards the box. Hopefully this game is a little less eventful in terms of the extracurriculars going on in the contest, as the two number 20s collide with each other. Brady White kind coming away, getting the foul, but a little worse for wear as he was a little bit shaken up. Jack Holland will put a foot into it. This one gets in towards the box. So we had a rather interesting game in our last one, which was Group A in this same age bracket. FC United against Dix Hills. FC United now having to look to the scores and see how everything else turned out, because they had been on top of the group with 4 points, but they finish 1-1-1. So they've kind of left things out of their own hands. Dix Hills winning that one 3-2, but it was a rather adventurous game overall. It was probably close to 10 yellow cards handed out in that one. It was also a red. It was a soft red given out in the second half. So looking to have a little bit more of a calm affair here, and that might be a little bit much to ask for, as these two teams still with plenty to play for, both of them hoping to get a result and advance to the knockout stages. Here comes Challenger. Given away is Wormer. Was trying to get it on through, and that one was not quite there as he was looking for Libertowski. Couple notes in regarding the roster for Team Challenger. Wearing number 6 is Nicky Mazzola, listed as number 22 on the online rosters. And then in goal for Team Challenger is number 21, Alex Dudley. Here comes Arefi. That one went off the defender. Hard to tell where he was going with that one. He had Hulsman in the middle of the field. Bruscher lays it back. Near side now for Wormer. A run made by Pataka. That didn't get all the way through. A little bit of frustration there from Turitin. Able to win that initially. Kept in along the line by Holland. He's going to send one across the face of goal. Settled down just outside the 6, but it was bouncing too high. Black couldn't quite find the handle. It was just bounding around too much for him to get that good volley in through it. Over the top of the Nike soccer logo on the far sideline. Heilman. Into the box. And a foul called on Wetkind. Trying to lob one over the top. Spotted there by the OP defense. Pataka coming up. Going to put this one back into play. Is somewhat similarly to our first game of the day. Kind of a feeling out period here. The sparring session of the game, so to speak. As it was put by John Strong yesterday. So kind of a slow-moving first half as we're in the 7th minute. Haven't gotten into the heat of the day, still reasonably comfortable with the breeze. This one high up into the air. Arefi trying to deal with it. Goalkeeper had to come out and claim it in the end. Now Ohio Premier looking to get into an advantageous position. Slicing around the defender as Black sliding one through for Wetkind. And ultimately for naught as it goes out for the goal kick. Not a whole lot of space for either team right now. Some unforced giveaways. Perhaps still trying to wake up a little bit here as it's just a bit past 9 Central Time. We welcome those of you watching from Ohio. A little bit later in the day for you guys. Not as early of a morning. We appreciate you tuning in. In the box, that's dangerous. Settles down, the shot into the side netting. Great opportunity there for Challenger. It just wouldn't settle down quite enough for Libertowski. He managed to do well with what was available to him, but it was going to be fairly difficult to really put that one on frame. Aerial battles here. Ohio Premier ended up coming away with it. Through the wickets. Now here comes Black. Gets the defender to slip as that was Brusher, who lost his footing just a little bit. Arefi. Well guarded. Arefi holding it in. Now the choice words starting to come out here in the early going. There's some frustration between teammates. So apologies if that went across the air. This one nudged on as Lemon trying to cut it back in towards the box, and he was too heavy on that touch, taken away by Kylie. Kylie returns the favor by giving it right back. Here comes Brennan. And that one was not quite what he intended. So it'll be put back into play off the goal kick. Again, everybody kind of bunched into the midfield. It's just a mass of bodies right there. And that will change over the course of the game, of course, due to the fact that players get fatigued, defenders want to hang back a little bit more. Forwards end up staying a little bit more upfield. To the far hand side, taking it into the corner. Challenger looking for options here. Served into the box, but the whistle went. And offside was the call. The 220s collide again as Pataka and Whitkind have smashed into each other a couple times now. A lot to play for here today between these two teams. Coming in, Challenger Crew has a little bit more in their back pocket as they came in 1-0-1, defeating West Coast Haney 5-0 on Tuesday, and then a 0-0 draw over Penn Fusion on Wednesday. And that is a slightly confusing situation. It's that looked like a handball from where I'm sitting, and obviously the coach is Dave Winter agreeing with it. It was an interesting call. The referee right on top of it, though. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt as I looked up kind of at the last second, and goalkeeper looked like he was outside the box. But for Challenger, a win or a draw, and they will advance. They can advance with a loss, but then it becomes a tie-break scenario and brings into account goals scored, goal differential, all that kind of stuff. And every organization has different tie-breaking scenarios. So easiest to just check the website in that instance. On the flip side, Ohio Premier is still alive. Now a loss or draw for them and they are out. And a win puts them into the tie-break scenario. So they have to win just to give themselves a chance. There's absolutely nothing assured other than the fact that if they only get a draw or worse, then they know that they're going home. Arefi with a little bit of extracurricular behind the play, a little push on the back of Brennan. The challenger looking to get it into the offensive end, trying to save it along the end line, doing just that, but nobody trailing to keep possession. Turretin to the box. It's sliding out to make the grab. Battle in the midfield, won by Challenger again. They look over here to the near side to Arefi. Now up for Black. Had his pocket picked. Draw over Penn Fusion on Wednesday. Again. And that was actually Whitkind, who was knocked down. On for Heilman. Heilman switches the point of attack. Pushing it forward is Wu. Wu to the end line. And forcing a stop for Dudley. It was curling in towards that post. And he needed to make sure that there was no chance it was going in. The left-footed corner kick going towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Takes a touch and will do it over again. Goalkeeper was nowhere to be seen from my vantage point. A lot of bodies in front screening everybody. And it looked like Dudley had stepped out towards that near post. So he might have been in a position to make a save had that been put on target. But you never really expect your defenders to knock it back towards goal in that direction. So that would have taken a pretty impressive reaction. Laid back by Wu. Looking over here to the near side, Arefi. Pushes it towards the corner flag. Serves it up. Too far for Dudley to come out and claim. His defender gets him, though. Looking for Wu on the run. Slides it past. Wu in towards the penalty spot. Nicely headed away. Brusher, the last one to get a touch on it. Here comes the team in gold. Challenger crew looking upfield. Pressing up. Womer looking. He was trying to get it over to Brennan, and that wasn't quite there. Libertowski was also making a run as he was coming in from behind. All the way back to half line. Adam Haas. Near side intending that one for Pataka. Into the box, but seen all the way. Offside is the call. So that'll give the ball back to Ohio Premier. Lobbed high up into the air. Dealt with by the defender. Picking it up in the midfield. Challenger crew. Some grabbing going on the back. Shrugging it off was Brennan, serving it up towards the far side, getting too much air underneath it. That'll allow Ohio Premier to come back the other way. Looking for Black, near side, Whitkind, lobbing it in towards the middle of the field. Heilman takes a drive. Not a bad idea, but he struck it just a bit with the left side, more towards the instep than the shoelaces, and that was really enough to kind of throw it off. So things taking a little too long to develop here for Challenger. Bruschler gave it over to Turretin, who continues it on back. Duldner. Turretin. And now Bruschler pushing it up, trying to serve it into the box, but it wasn't quite there as Pataka lost his footing as he was trying to make that cross. Arafi. Just too tall for Tyler Stills. Looking over the top, they were trying to get it to Libertowski. He might have been offside anyway. In the end, the flag stayed down, so that might have been interesting to see what would have happened. As we are in the 22nd minute, and we're going to take a break for the hydration. Let's talk a little bit more about Ohio Premier's path to this current situation. As I mentioned earlier, they're 0-1-1. They got a draw on day one, a 2-2 draw with Penn Fusion. So a decent offensive showing in that one, but defensively they haven't necessarily shown up the way that they would have liked. And then they lost 3-0 to West Coast Haney, and that was just yesterday. The 2 goals coming for Ohio Premier, from one from Forstel and one from Black. So they need a top-notch performance in this one just to get themselves an opportunity to get to the knockout stages. On the flip side, it's a little bit more comfortable for Challenger, as I also mentioned a little bit earlier in the broadcast. And a win or a draw, and they're going on. A loss, they can still make it in, but then you put it depending on other results. There was something on the back of the jersey of Hayden Parente. And the center official just doing his job, he was worried that it might have been blood. But just apparently some sort of stain, because some of his teammates just kind of scratched at it and it managed to come off. So perhaps just a piece of turf. And that would have forced an interesting situation, not only for Coach Condell, but for myself as well, because you get used to certain players having certain numbers, and then all of a sudden if Parente is no longer wearing number 11 because he would have had to switch. It always makes for interesting scenarios. Legs kind of flailing up at that one. Nobody really coming away with it. It's with Bruschler slipping just a bit, but legs taken out from under Brennan as well. He goes quickly. Might have been wiser to set that one up a bit more. Bruschler stepping right into the defender, still has it. Black takes him down. Too much in that, and the free kick will be given. So a free kick upcoming for Challenger as they attempt to put themselves in the lead. Although throughout this tournament, not necessarily with these teams, but just kind of a general observation, scoring the first goal has not necessarily always been beneficial as that one goes high over the netting. Ball's becoming a bit of a precious commodity on this field as we've lost a couple to the pond over here to our left. And the bag is now empty. "26th minute of play." Had about a minute, maybe 90 seconds for that water break. So you have to figure that that will be added on. Pulling it back nicely is Turretin. On for Bruscher. And now to the far side. So Challenger somewhat internally expecting to win this group. One of our fellow broadcasters was riding on the plane coming here as that particular player was joining the team a little bit late coming from college. But the discussion was not necessarily in any kind of cocky manner, but just confidence. The Challenger crew expects to be challenging, no pun intended, for the national title, and they fully expect to get through this group stage. And once again, if they win or draw, and they're going to have that chance to play in the knockout stages. Even if they lose, they can still advance, but it's no longer in their hands. And they don't necessarily want it to come down to that. Plenty of opportunities for both of these teams to try to take 3 points out of this one. Still a lot of time left to be played as we're in the 28th minute in the first half. Sounds like a goal was scored on the field behind us. And I believe that that's the same age group. Perhaps an age bracket down. Looks like it might be 17s or 18s. As always, you can watch all the action right here on the USYS Soccer YouTube channel. The main game's brought to you by Turbo Sports, as we have been producing the majority of the action here. There's a few fields, some of the higher numbered fields that have been covered mainly with just a high steady cam. But we've been proud to bring you all of the action during this tournament, brought to you by our presenting sponsors. Todd Panula along with you here as we're in the 29th minute of play in this U19 boys group action. Lobbing one over the top, trying to keep it in along the sideline, and doing just that is Chris Brennan. Cutting it back inside. Defender slides at it and is able to win it, much to the frustration of Brennan. Arefi almost got it, just about a foot to the left. A little bit more curl on that one, and that would have been a perfect service. Instead, a couple subs coming in now for Ohio Premier, as it's going to be Jared Firstel, who has a goal to his name, as well as Kingsley Amawakene. Quickly in now. Turnitin. Off the other way. Counterattack. Trying to push it up. Cole Heilman. Looking for the recently inserted Firstel. Instead, it's Challenger in possession now as they send it up the far sideline. A little bit more deliberate now, a little less speed. Handing it over to Brennan. He'll continue it on towards the corner. Puts on the brakes. Back for Brennan. Instead, it's in the box now. Shot comes in. And ultimately, a somewhat easy save for the goalkeeper. Lobbing one over the top, trying to get for Heilman. Up in the air for Firstel. Neither one could get it to settle down. And now here's an opportunity for Challenger to push it upfield. Coach Kondo wanting them to show a little more urgency. Now Brennan cutting through the middle. And again, those final balls just not quite there. Brusher, Brennan. Cutting back outside is Duldner. Duldner gets it back. Now Turretin, he lines it up. Got a little too excited there. Put it up and over. Substitute coming in. It's going to be Zach Hubbard coming in. Looks like Justin Libertowski out. Slicing over here towards the near sideline. Ball just rolls barely to the left of our broadcast position. Quickly back in. Pressure. Far sideline. Very deliberate right now for Challenger Crew. Brusher. Now Turretin. A little bit of space available here for Haas. Cuts it back across the green. Brennan. Busher. Duldner. Spinning around. Brusher. And the word from the bench, it's too much standing around. And I do have to concur that there's not enough movement for Gold. Spin shot right at the goalkeeper. A good attempt there. You like the effort. Brennan had a good idea, but not fully knowing where the target was in behind. He couldn't angle that one away from the keeper. Amwakene serves it back across. Probably should have taken a shot there. Now here's a drive. They score! Jack Holland with the goal in the 35th minute. So Ohio Premier hasn't had too much possession in the last couple minutes, but they make the most of their chance as Kingsley Amoakwene put himself in a good position, but cut it back across the grain instead of taking the shot himself. Challenger was unable to clear it from the backside, and then Jack Holland was able to hammer it home with a curling left footer that just got underneath Dudley and inside that far post. So now perhaps a little more urgency will creep into the game of Challenger as they, once again, they can advance with a loss, but nobody wants to back themselves into the next round. You want to go in on a bit more of a positive note. And here's a good shot by Brusher. Just got underneath it a little too much. It had some good bend on it. Would have been tricky for the goalkeeper had that been on target. So 1-0 in favor of OP. Challenger able to steal it back after it was briefly given away, but now they hand it right back. Here's the goal scorer, Holland, spinning away from pressure through the midfield. And now on for Hulsman. Parente. Slid on through. They were looking for Brennan. Flag never went up as he never became involved in the play. Good little shield off. Slid on through for Brusher. He is taken down. Now the question of what card? For the back pocket, and it is a red. So Challenger Crew now will get the free kick, and they will be up by a man. Last defender. It's harsh, but those are the rules. Little choice given to the center official there, as that was a clear takedown, and there was absolutely nobody else that was going to be able to challenge Brusher. As an official myself, sometimes you look for some sort of bailout. You look for that extra defender. Maybe this guy could make a run in. You don't want to give out that red card, but it has been handed. At least it looked like it. It was tough to tell from my vantage point. Nobody has left the game yet. It's a definite card one way or the other. We'll have to check on the color here. I saw it from the side, so it was difficult to tell. So perhaps it was just a yellow. Now the shot just barely missing. An excellent strike on goal. So nobody exited the game. I apologize for that, for both sides. It looked like it was a situation where it was the last defender and that a red card would be handed out. Instead, it must have just been a yellow, as Jack Holland will come out into the game now. Alec Holden. So again, I apologize because nobody came out that I saw. But now that I'm counting players, I only see 9 dressed in black, so I'll have to try to get that sorted out at the half, figure out what happened. So I only see 9 out there, so somebody had to have come out. So regardless, whatever happened, it didn't hurt Ohio Premier in that particular situation. But if they are indeed down by a man, then it's going to be difficult to hold on to this lead. So a substitute about to come in for Challenger Crew. Into the game now will be Nick Reppel. And checking out is John Duldner. So Reppel into the game. And the last, we'll briefly touch on that potential red card, was still difficult to tell. There was a discussion whether or not it had been number 5, which would be Brian Wu. But he is actually in the game. He's slid back to the right back position. So, again, we'll check in on that during the half, which should be coming up somewhat briefly. It'll be interesting to see how much added time is tacked onto this one. So, Ohio Premier is up by a goal, but they are down by a man. Wu trying to track this one down. Instead, it's Team Challenger in control of it. A nice switch here as they get it over to Brusher. He's struggling to keep that one in. Brusher taking it towards the edge of the 18 on the end line, and now a corner kick. Some jostling going on in front of the goalkeeper there. The runs were made, but not enough movement by Team Challenger to get on the end of that one. An easy clearance in the end for Ohio Premier. Slid on through. They had a choice of either Brusher or Parente, and instead it kind of split the difference. Some Ohio Premier players coming over from other games. Check out to see what their club members are doing. Right now they have a 1-0 lead. We'll have to see how long that holds up. So another free kick given to Ohio Premier. A lot of space given. Left-footed shot. Score! Down by a man, Ohio Premier has taken a 2-0 lead. What a strike there from Jared Firstel, his second of the tournament. So stoppage time is what we're into now. That came in the very end of the 45th minute. And Ohio Premier trying to do their best to put themselves in a situation where they could potentially advance. They need a lot of help. They have to get results on other fields to go their way. But this is the kind of result that they need to at least give themselves a shot. Amawakaene asking for a little bit of help. Nobody opened up, at least not quickly enough. Stills out for Hulman. Hulsman gets it back, carrying it all the way towards the end line, pumps the brakes. Left-footed service in off the defender. There's also a player down for Challenger. And there is the halftime whistle, so an unexpected turn of events. Ohio Premier leading this one 2-0, but that's why we play the games. We'll take a quick break for halftime, and when we come back, we'll have your second half of action, and we'll get you an update on what that red card situation was. More with this on Turbo Sports after this.
The road starts here. The road paved by pain, sacrifice, and struggle. The road paved by passion and pursuit. The road where dreams come true. On this road, many will fail, and on this road, many dreams will fade. But as for you, what will be your fate? When there are seconds left and you are running on fumes, will you be satisfied with almost? Or will you dig down into the dirt, take one more step and make one more play, knowing that good enough isn't good enough? And all the blood, sweat, and tears have brought you to this moment, the moment where pain turns to greatness. On this road, nothing is given. Everything is taken. On this road, winners will rise to the top. Heroes will be made. And on this road, champions will be crowned.
It was 1935, the year that Elvis and Sandy Koufax were born. It was a year of many firsts, including the first NFL draft, the first Monopoly board game went on sale, Social Security began, and Babe Ruth hit his last home run. In addition to these milestones, the National Junior Challenge Cup was founded in 1935. Offering a youth competition for young men in the United States. The cup was later named the James P. McGuire Cup, after the late U.S. soccer president, who himself was quite a standout in his earlier days, winning the U.S. Open Cup in 1929. McGuire would lead U.S. soccer and earn an international reputation as an excellent leader.
The Jim McGuire Cup was started in 1935. It was the only cup that the United States Soccer Federation had for youth players. And it was a very good competition, and I can tell you, I mean, this was the highlight of my soccer career to be a champion in 1954.
This storied cup, now the oldest trophy in youth sport.
It has a history, it has a meaning, I think it has tradition. So I think it's extremely important for our competitions, for all the age groups that kind of emulate the Maguire Cup.
Winning the Maguire Cup is huge, just because all that history that comes along with the oldest trophy in youth sports period, that's really big for us.
Who will write their name in the next chapter of the storied Maguire Cup?
And welcome back, everyone. We're just about set for second half action between Ohio Premier and Challenger Crew Juniors. It'll be Team Challenger with possession to start off this half. We'll get you updated on that red card situation. There was indeed a red card. I thought I had seen it come out. And then all of a sudden, doubt kind of creeped into my mind when I didn't really see anybody walking away. You look down at just for a second, and all of a sudden there's nobody on the field. But the situation was as thus. The call was made. It was indeed a red card, and it went against number 6, Lucas Bean. So his day is done, but Challenger has a lot to do here as they find themselves down by 2, as the goal initially came before the red card. That was the one that put them down by a 1-0 score. And then late in the game, almost at the death of the first half anyway, Jared Firstel managed to put one past, and that was a heck of a shot, a solid left foot past the diving keeper. Now here comes Reppel. Lobbed in the air, going for Brennan, but too direct. Foul in the midfield. Let's get you updated on some of the other stuff going on. Potential opponents for these teams, should they advance. In Group A action earlier today, Chicago Fire Juniors absolutely crushed Oklahoma FC by the final score of 5-1, so they're going to win Group A. And despite the loss to Dix Hills, FC United out of Illinois are going to finish in second. So not necessarily the way that they would have liked to have advanced to the knockout stages, but they were always likely to finish in second anyway. So 6 in one, half dozen in the other, as long as you're playing in the next round. Don't have any word on what's going on in our other game in this group between Penn Fusion out of Pennsylvania and West Coast Haney out of California. Really, the main interest in that contest is this one sent over towards the far side, and here comes a chance for Challenger. They're going to get themselves a corner kick. But the main interest in that other game is if Penn wins, then they eliminate Ohio Premier. If there's a draw, then Ohio Premier can still advance with the win. Deflected on, and that one was cleared away. A nice touch there towards the 6-yard area, and unfortunately it doesn't end up in a goal. Onside here. Brusher hammers it off the defender as Wu got a piece of it. Now a lot of whistles coming from various directions, and every now and then it becomes difficult to tell which way it came from. Towards the penalty spot, flicked on, but not towards goal. Brennan couldn't get it on the third attempt. Sliding challenge, kept it alive, touched off a black, and it'll stay with Challenger. Lobbed in, settles down, keeper out, what a save, rebound! Up and over. Offside was the call, so it might not have mattered anyway. So the offside was apparently on the head ball attempt, so all that was kind of for naught. Still exciting. Quality goalkeeping there from Williams. Whitcomb puts it back into play, and this one was bobbled by Dudley. His defender trying to clear it out and finally sent away. And now Dudley seems to be a little bit shaken up. Don't think he intended to put that much effort into that one, and he ended up scramble in the end. Dudley down to one knee. Hopefully he's able to shake that off and perhaps just kind of a situation where it's tightness in the muscle. It'll loosen out on its own. Not quite on there for Parente. Lobbed over the top. One of the goal scorers, Jack Holland. He tracks it down, but so did Duldner. Now onto the near side for Mazzola. Turretin. Mazzola again. Smartly played off the defender. Brennan trying to split the defenders. Just a toe poke out. Looking for Brennan again. Wasn't quite on. And now we get a whistle. Looked like the card came out. So Libertowski's going to get himself a free kick in a pretty dangerous area here. In the 53rd minute of play, another booking. So a yellow card, and this time I believe it was on Brian Wu. So we had briefly mistakenly attached the red card to him earlier, but now into the book. It's still in the game, obviously. So the line pushed back, the center official having some words with the wall, making sure that they don't try to press forward. Chris Brennan looking to put a right foot into this one. There's runs made, but he's got eyes on goal. Nice whip on that one. But Brennan frustrated that it goes off the wall. Trying to serve to the near side again. Brennan lies it down for Turretin. Back through to Brennan. Flag stays down. Brennan inside the 18-yard box. Puts a right foot into it. Corner kick. That one would have been difficult for Williams to save. He would have been well spotted as he was on the right side of the wall to get in front of that one, but that had some wicked curl on it. Going towards the back post. Williams had a player in front. The official says that the goalkeeper was interfered with, so it'll be a free kick. Very quiet on the challenger bench. Now with a few calls going their direction, they get up a little bit Brusher puts a lot into this one, and that's not going to be able to be controlled by Brennan. Still plenty of time in this one. Not even quite 10 minutes into the half. Too tall for Brusher there. Arefi lobbing one over the top, intended for Black. Instead, it's Mazzola. Switching the point of attack. Brennan nicely off the heel. Gets it into the box. Gives the referee a decision, and it will not go his way. Brennan went down looking for the penalty, and instead is called for the foul. Once again, the winner of this game will at least give themselves a chance to go on to the knockout stages. Depending on other results, they could finish as high as first in the case of Challenger Crew. Ohio Premier looking just to advance. Tough decision there for the near side assistant. Flag went up quickly, though, so he was decisive. Out for the throw. Laid back for Wu. Trying to lob one over to Holland. Instead, it's Hulsman. Defender diving in front. Hulsman sending one out into Black. The flag was up this time. Challenger trying to build it up from the back a little bit more deliberately. Probably smart with the wind not in their favor. These balls get caught up high in the air. And that really doesn't serve a purpose if you're a fan from Medina. To the near side now, Mazzola. Little drag move, step over. Putting the moves on the defender, now just lays it back. Turnerton into the box for Brennan, shrugs off the defender, and again the decision goes against. And it was actually offside. Slammed up into the air by Reppel. Hulsman getting a piece of it as well. Now here's Reppel. Reppel to the near side from Mazzola. Calling for it the entire way. Drags it back. Reppel again. Up through for Brennan. Chops it past the defender. Libertowski loses it. Gets it back. Libertowski! And a save by Williams. Mazzola again. The pressure starting to mount here as Challenger sliding him through, beginning to take advantage of that man advantage. Once again, that red card against Lucas Bean in the late stages of the first half. Very clear red card. Became a little bit confusing when Bean exited the field pretty much immediately. It's kind of sad, I mean, because I take full blame for that confusion. As a broadcaster, you're taught to keep your eyes on the play, but I looked away just for a second, and you don't think anything of it because being involved with soccer for so long, usually anybody who gets a red card kind of stands there and questions the call and whatnot, but Bean apparently exited the field immediately as when the card went up. So I didn't see him leave, and then all of a sudden you think, well, nobody left. Maybe it was yellow because the referee was turned in just such a manner that I saw him hold up a card. Couldn't necessarily see the color. It was indeed a red, so Ohio Premier is only playing with 10 men. Labeled through from the far sideline. Cut back. They're trying to get it to Libertowski again. Bodies falling left and right. And again, the center official calling the foul on the attacking team. Wind picking up, and again, it's as the day goes on, it will probably be more of an issue as it has been the last couple days. The middle two games seem to be affected by it the most, and then once we get into the afternoon periods, sometimes it kind of dies off. Lobbed back up in the air, trying to go over the top to Holland. He's able to chase it down. Defender right on him. Not too much support here for Holland. He tried to send it in towards the middle of the pitch, intending that one for Stills. And this one will be much too far out of the way for Brennan, who is visibly frustrated. Stills just chapping that one into the corner to allow Holland to run onto it, but it had way too much underneath. Now here's Mazzola. Cutting back in towards the middle. Again, likes to put that little drag over move with that left foot. Defenders have become a little bit wiser to it. Here's Libertowski, surrounded by Black, still getting into space. But the flag had gone up anyway. It was a goal kick. So you like the effort from Challenger. They've put in some good work here in the second half as we're about 18 minutes in. But right now, from their point of view, they need to start worrying a little more about finishing. As I said, they can advance with a loss, but then you're depending on other results. If they can even get this one back to square, they will be going through. Taken away by Reppel. Parente. And now Turretin. Brennan all the way back at the half-field mark. Send it over to the far side. Pataka pushing in towards the 18-yard area, but Arefi was wise to his plan. Pataka again. Goal kick. These are the games that you, as a neutral anyway, feel for the officials the most. It seems like day 3 is always the most difficult. There's either pride on the line or positioning in the group stages. And games tend to get a little tight. We've seen it on this field in our prior game, which was a Group A game in this same age bracket, and a lot going on in behind us, which is in a different age bracket. But A lot of screaming going on, much of it directed at the officials. Is this one labeled for the upper 90? What a blast! What a strike! Mazzola. An absolute cracker of a shot. Absolutely no chance for the goalkeeper. And now things are on for Challenger Crew Juniors. So in the 65th minute, Nicky Mazzola pulls one back. Now Holland, that would really be a dagger if Ohio Premier could answer right here. Playing with 10 men. They managed to score already with 10 men, and now Holland, some frustration shown as he takes out the player from behind. And you have to figure he is going into the book. So yellow card handed out. Holland, the recipient. There's just some frustration shown there. But again, it's quite a game now. Only a 1-goal difference. The team that's trailing is the one with the man advantage after a wonder strike from Nick Mazzola. Just a tiny bit of bend on it, but for the most part, a frozen rope. Just about as straight as it could be, or at least as it needed to be, right off the shoelaces. Absolutely no chance for the goalkeeper. He did everything that he could with that. But that one was going upper 90 the whole way. Kingsley Amoakwene will check back into the game in just a moment. Next stoppage. Brennan laid it back. Now making the run up the right-hand side. Brennan calling for it by the penalty spot, as that was Libertowski on top of the ball. Once again, he'll gain himself a corner kick. And now Ohio Premier going to leave whichever player Amoakwene is coming in for this set piece. Towards the back post. Defender dealt with it. Down for Brennan. Good shot, but he was going near post. Williams had a good look at it. So still pretty early. We're probably going to have the water break fairly soon, as this one nicely taken down by Brennan. The overlap run. Libertowski into the side netting. And there it is. Just about 23 minutes into the second half. We'll get the water break. 2-1 your score. Ohio Premier leading Challenger Crew. A 35th minute goal from Jack Holland, and then a 45th minute goal from Jared Firstel. Firstel's goal would stand to be the game winner if things remain as they are. Challenger Crew hoping that they do not, as their goal came in the 65th minute with Nick Mazzola smashing one into the right-hand top corner. Still no update on what's going on over on field 4, which is Penn Fusion against West Coast Haney. Those of you at home can always tune in one of your other devices, see what the score is on that one. Because once again, the result of that one's going to have big implications in this one, should the scoreline remain the same. Ohio Premier will need help if they stay ahead and win this game. They're going to need West Coast Haney to get a draw in that one and then hope that the goal difference is enough. Right now, it doesn't look like that would be plausible, as Ohio Premier is still at -2 given the current situation. But that would be the best case scenario. Most likely, Ohio Premier is eliminated, but not mathematically. They just need a lot of help, a lot of things that need to go their way. They have to somehow retake this lead and get their goal difference on a positive scale, and then potentially get a draw in that other game. Challenger Crew, if they come back and win, they're through. Even if they tie it up, they're through. And then it's just a matter of the other results panning out as to where they will finish. If they win, they'll be atop Group B, and they will play FC United. If they draw, given other situations, they might end up facing Chicago Fire Juniors. And right now, we got a quick update thanks to our producer, Scott Cheney. The score is 1-0 in favor of Penn. Now take it away. Here comes Turretin, trying to slide it through. Libertowski was open. Brennan was also making the run, but the defender was kind of in between, able to take it one. Wu just blasted upfield, trying to kind of relieve the pressure here. Turretin, near side for Mazzola. He's the one that's given his team some hope in this one. Flag goes up. So a Penn Fusion win would do Ohio Premier no favors here. If that scoreline holds up, because Fusion up 1-0. That would give them 5 points. But that result would definitely aid Challenger Crew. If the scoreline does hold up as it is right now, it would obviously put Challenger Crew in the second spot in their group and thus give them a much more difficult opponent in the next round. Dangerous free kick coming up here for Holland. Takes a couple steps back. It's still going to be a right-footed shot now, but right at Dudley. Black ended up being the one to take that one. Holland just took a few steps towards it to try to get the wall to move a little bit, perhaps show their intentions. Ripple over here into the middle. Parente. On through, onside for Libertowski. Gets it on the left foot, centered! And dealt with. It will stay with Challenger, but the danger averted, at least for the moment. Shot in. Managed to sneak through the defender's legs, but it didn't have quite enough steam on it to really trouble the goalkeeper. A safe save right into the breadbasket. Now Brennan chests it down. Brennan into the box. Brennan with the shot. And right into the defender. Looked as though it might have been a throw-in for Challenger. Instead, the official giving it to Ohio Premier. Ends up with Team Challenger anyway. Here's Reppel. Mazzola making the run up the left. Drop back for Parente, just trying to lob one in, but Mazzola had curved his run a little too far backward. Up over the head. Coming back to sweep it away was Duldner. And now the foul against Ohio Premier. This time on Firstel. And now Brusher. Handball the call. Not too much that Wu could do about that one as it was struck pretty hard, but understandably given. Williams has his wall up. Brennan has his sights set. Steps off a little bit to the side, but he still looks like he wants to go for goal. Instead, he sends it towards the back post. And again, Arefi snuffed it out. Stole it away. Centered. Volley! And it was blocked by Libertowski. It's about as good as you could have asked there. Brusher just absolutely smashed it, but his teammate was just too close. Arm came out a little bit. Nothing doing. Now here's Brusher. Able to keep it away. Amwakwene trying to race back. Slid through. Libertowski. Flag up again. High into the air, taken down by Team Challenger as they begin to feel a little bit of desperation here. 33 minutes played in this half. As that one just hammered away, and it'll go over the fence. Taken down nicely by Reppel. Near side for Mazzola. Can't give him too much space. He scored in a similar area. A little bit further out. Just under the foot of Brennan. Now just wide as the shot came in from the right-hand side. Not a bad chance there for Pataka. But you're in a scenario now, if you're Challenger crew, that obviously you intend to put every single ball on target. But in those kind of scenarios, every time it goes out, you're allowing time to tick off the clock. So no hurry to put back into play by Whitkind. Over the top to Black. Decent ball through. Looking for Parente. Lays it back for Reipel. Turleton. And now Brusher going for Libertowski. He is taken out. Official says the ball was gained. Reppel again. Lobbing it over the top. Foot came out. Goalkeeper got to it. Mazzola, after Challenger won it in the middle of the field. Brennan was holding up his run, realizing there was no chance of getting towards that. And now Hulsman, give it up. Turleton, Parente, towards the corner flag. Just about 10 yards short. Here's Turleton again. Reppel. Lobbing one to the far side. Trying to find Brusher. Brusher off the woodwork. The rebound loose. Oh, what a save. What a stop. Both initially and on the second attempt. Defender sliding in was Brody Whitkind. He's the one that's down and injured. But fantastic goalkeeping there. Reaching up to get a hand on that one initially. Making the stop, putting it off the woodwork. It bounded back out in front. But unfortunately for Challenger Crew, it just wouldn't settle down quickly enough for them to nudge that one past. So Whitkind is up. He'll have to come out just for a moment as he was seen to by the staff. About 7 minutes left in regulation. And you have to figure that there will be time added on for these injuries. So play was apparently stopped for the injury because the goalkeeper was allowed to pick it up to restart play. So obviously no foul given, otherwise that would not have been the case. Here's Turleton laying it off here near side to Mazzola. Amwakwene put on a little bit of pressure. Turleton flicked on. Libertowski. And Mazzola was also there, and that is hammered about as far away as they could get it. Vincent Womer will come back into the game here in the 85th minute. Amoakwene able to clear it up at least a little bit. Reppel sends it all the way back. The lone defender right now is Adam Haas. Mazzola slides one through, well spotted there. Diving to get a piece of it was Hulsman. And these are the times that Challenger crew probably wishing that this was hockey, as Ohio Premier seems content to just ice the puck, so to speak. Obviously, completely different sport, doesn't apply, but the idea behind it is the same. Just about 5 minutes left. Up in the air for Bruscher. Foul given, called against Holland. He's got to watch himself, doesn't want any persistent fouls. He's already sitting on a yellow card. He's also got a goal. Jared Firstel's goal would be the game winner if this scoreline holds up. Now Brennan trying to muscle his way in. Another opportunity here for the goalkeeper to take some time off the clock. Just blasting it up the right-hand side. Ohio Premier, as the results are playing out right now, is playing for pride. But they'd still love to get a win in the win column. You still finish with 4 points. Not a bad finish. But they do not need Penn Fusion to win, which, as last check, they were up 1-0. So even if the score lines hold true, Penn Fusion would jump to the top of the group. And Challenger crew would end up finishing in second. Now scores can change, and thus positioning can change. As Amoakwene just blasting that one up into the air. Team Challenger trying their best to get it back towards the offensive end. Amoakwene makes his way around one man. Challenging for it again. Reppel has his pocket picked, trying to return the favor, but instead Holland will take it down towards the corner. Sliding challenge was enough to dispossess the attacker, but not gain possession. To the near side, Bruscher. Caught in the head. He's going to be given a free kick. Doesn't look like Amoakwene will go into the book. Now Turretin keeping it alive. Not where he wanted it. Lebertowski puts on the brakes, takes it inside the 18-yard box. Little contact, shot blocked, and ultimately cleared away. One looked like it took a deflection. Apparently not. Turretin slowing it up. Just about a minute and a half left in regulation, perhaps less. Mazzola. Time ticking away. Coach Winter, or excuse me. Yes, Coach Winter telling them that they need a goal if they want to have any hope of going through. Holland with the pressure on Mazzola. Holland couldn't allow it to roll out. And here's Reppel. Turretin. Everybody back right now. And Williams saw it all the way, even with the player flashing in front. 30 seconds left in regulation. Now it's all down to how much stoppage time there is. Reppel switches fields. Haas looking at his options. Line drive on the ground. Haas was able to save that one as it was closing in. Apologies, I couldn't really see with the sun how much stoppage time is going to be added on. Flag goes up. Trying to check into the game now is Maxwell Hess. It would be his first action of the game. So Hess coming in. It looks like Mazzola will come out. So the game behind us has ended. We are a minute into stoppage time on our field with a free kick to Ohio Premier. Played in towards the box. Goal kick given. There was calls for either handball or at least a touch that would have given them a corner. Ohio Premier in a position to win here, but it does not look like they will be able to make up the ground necessary to advance. Still time to tell. Now a chance here for Crew. A left-footed shot. Kick save. Womer with a chance to gain the glory. Whitkind trying to get it back into play as their coach must know what's going on the other fields, as he wants his team to go for another goal to get that goal difference back in their favor. And that was a dangerous challenge. We're going to have a booking here. It's going to be on Brennan. So Coach Condell visibly upset after that one. He hasn't necessarily been overly pleased with the officiating overall, but that tends to be the case with many coaches. They see things through their own prism. Not to say that either side is wrong. Everybody sees things their own way. But it seemed to be a decent call to give the yellow card, given my vantage point. And now things could be on for Libertowski, trying to get his team advancing to the next round. Chases it out towards the corner. Caught in between the legs. Now he's got a bit of space. Back in front. The left-footed shot. They score! The equalizer has put Challenger Crew potentially through to the second round. In stoppage time, the substitute, Vincent Womer. They blow the whistle, and Ohio Premier showing exhaustion as they put in a fantastic effort in this one. They were unlikely to make it to the knockout stages anyway. Now they are for sure eliminated, and Challenger Crew has punched their ticket to the next round. Now it's all up to other results to see who they're going to play in the next phases. That'll do it for us for this broadcast. I'm Todd Panula. For everybody here at Turbo Sports, we hope you enjoyed it. Until the next time, I'll see you then.